and some of the hairstyles are Abyssinian hairstyles. It's just a different complexion just happened to come in. But what I've learned, and I know many will not believe this, but many of the pictures, the artwork, are, are in England, are Abyssinian people. They're not Europeans. The Europeans have no problem in their country displaying the true images and the artwork of who these historical biblical characters represented.
But the Europeans thought that Jesus Christ and the angels and Saint Mary, just like white people in Ethiopia, as you told us, in Gundarian art, which is depicted in Gundar city, like the Abraham Selassie Church. Saint Mary has a tattoo like Ethiopians women. The soldiers have their weapons as Ethiopians, their hairstyle as Ethiopians. So during 16th, 17th century, artists in Ethiopia depicted angels and Jesus Christ just like black people as Ethiopia. So how do you feel for the first time when you see such kind of pictures in the Abraham Selassie Church in Gondar?
Well, I felt that there had to been some influence with the Europeans, because for me, my grandmother taught me at age 12. She forced me to read in the Bible. So when I read about Michael, the Princess City, in Daniel's chapter 9, and then go to Revelations chapter 1, and even Revelations chapter 3, it describes the Son of Man, Mikael, bronze skin, complexion. It gives you all these descriptions of someone who is non-Caucasian. But they raised us under colonization, the European influence, that these people are Europeans, which still no Bible on the planet, no matter how many versions they come up with, supports them being Europeans. They never describe them being Europeans. It's always the dark complexion. And another thing I learned, set the record straight, they say Middle East, but there's no Middle West, Middle North, or Middle South. All that's Africa. And before Africa got the name Africa, all of this was called Ethiopia. And the area of today were Axum, Egypt, and all that area were Abyssinian. So when places like these churches, Lalibela churches, that have all the instruments, the tools of Ethiopian tools, and they say that a lot of people come back and forth from Israel. Well, yeah, that's no problem, because the same people in Abyssinia, Ethiopia, are the same people in Israel. The same complexion. Europeans' history started from the Caucasus Mountains, between the Caspian and the Black Sea. That's their history. Ethiopian history, still in Israel. Now, we see Europeans in Israel today, but that only taking place after World War II. So we still don't have the full history. And I think what Tewodros was doing was trying to keep all the artwork, all the things, because of the European colonization of Africa. And he hoped to keep it preserved, which half of the treasures also were hidden within the Falashan tribes, because no one expected to go into the Falashas and bother them. So a lot of the history and the information the Falashans still hold on to. But far as you see these paintings of Europeans, Abyssinian clothes, Abyssinian tools, the crosses, mezcals, everything still is Abyssinian. But to make dominance of colonization, the Europeans had to replace everything, all the images, to benefit themselves and what they're doing. But I know for a fact, if all the Ethiopians saw what I saw in Britain, and even across the world, the real paintings, it'll change their whole mindset. It'll change everything, because that's where your power is. Your connection to Xavier is within what you see. If you don't see yourself as greatness, then how can you lead a great life? You know, the Europeans have mastered psychology and taken away images to promote themselves. However, they still make mistakes and paint pictures Caucasians in greatness as masquerading as Mikael or Xavier or Jesus, whatever name they chose. They still have Abyssinian clothes. They don't have European clothes, and weapons, and also everything. It's gonna take a lot of work to get our minds reset back to who we are, because who we are made an impact on the world, and we still are destined for greatness. We still, as Abyssinians, once we see all the images return to us and who we are, that will change everything about us, everything around us, and it will change everything about people around the world, because Abyssinian, Ethiopian started history here. This area is where it started from, and this is where everything will return back to.